now that we've had a chance to look at a whole bunch of different plants, I want us to come back to our original lists of the characteristics we think are true about plants and see if they apply. So let's look at these. The first one that I thought applied to plants, and when we come up with a definition for plants, we want something that will apply to all plants. Okay? So this one is where I said that plants don't usually move around. Well, I think that's true for most plants. But remember, the phytoplankton are moving all the time in the ocean. And although that's not really from themselves, that's from the power of the ocean. But remember, the walking trees are able to move. So I'm going to cross this one off. Although most plants are rooted into the ground and don't move. But then there's also like the water lilies aren't quite rooted into the ground. Let's look at this one over here. Leaves. Do all plants have leaves? Remember I said when we looked at the moss, look at the moss. Does it have leaves or needles? Nope. Lots of moss do not have leaves or needles. So let's cross that one off. How about this one? Water. Do all plants need water? No, I'll leave that one up there for now. Oh, and also with leaves, cacti, their spines are sort of, their leaves have evolved into spines, but they don't have true leaves in the way that other plants do. Let's see. They make their own food from sunlight. Was that true for all plants? True for all plants. How about that they're living? Are all plants living? True. Seeds. Do all plants have seeds? That's a good question. And we didn't get to really dive into that into the video, but I'll tell you that not all plants come from seeds or have seeds. Some do, but not all of them. Okay, so here's what I'm left with. That they're living, they make their own food, and that they need water. Well, all living things need water. So this is taken care of by saying that they're living, because all living organisms need water. So they're living and they make their own food. Okay, so let's look at this definition. Plants are living organisms that use sunlight to make their own food. Yeah, that's what plants are. Plants are living organisms that use sunlight to make their own food. Okay, here's what I'd like for you to do today. I'd like you to get out this paper from yesterday where you drew 4 different plants, and I want you to make sure that this is true about each of those plants. Are they all living? And do they use sunlight to make their food? Should be. That's true for all plants. And then what I want you to do is turn that paper over, and on the back, I want you to write this definition. I'll take a picture of this and put it in the newsletter so that you can see it more closely. And I'd like you to write this definition. You can paraphrase it if you want to, put it into your own words, but the facts that I want you to make sure you include in your definition, I want you to include that their plants are living and that they use sunlight to make their own food. Okay, they use energy from the sun. So those are the 2 things that we want to include when we write a definition for plants. So either I want you to copy this one or to write your own, but to include those 2 characteristics. So you can use this paper and you can write on the back so we can serve paper. Okay? So go ahead and do that for today. So now we know we have a definition for plants. So as we move forward in our studies of plants, we know what plants are. We know that they're living organisms that use sunlight to make their own food. After you write your definition here, I want you to share it with 3 different people in your family or 3 different stuffies. I want you to be able to recite that or tell that definition over and over and over again. So 3 times. You don't have to read it, but I want you to be able to tell either your mom, or your dad, or a brother, or a sister, or a housemate that might live with you, or a stuffy. I want you to be able to describe what a plant is. Okay? So go ahead and record this definition and then go on to tell 3 people, 3 stuffies what a plant is. Okay, get to work.